Welcome to a world of fantasy, music, and magical entertainment. The Disney Video Collection. But don't be tempted to buy a cheap illegal pirate copy, or you might just hear about it from your children.
If you were a kid growing up in the VHS era, then you're probably familiar with anti-piracy warnings like this. With VHS tapes being so easy to copy, video distributors were keen to crack down on pirated tapes and promote the benefits of buying a legal copy. This meant that pretty much every VHS tape had some kind of warning at the start, which always fascinated me as a kid.
Video piracy is a crime. Do not accept it. Demand a genuine cassette from your video store.
At that age, it just seemed so strange to me. What were these mysterious pirated tapes? What would happen if you watched them? And why are pirates suddenly trading VHS tapes when they should be making someone walk the plank?
If you have any worries concerning pirate videos, call one of these numbers now.
You almost couldn't watch a VHS tape without being confronted by one of these warnings, and it seems every company had their own way of dealing with the issue. The Disney ones are probably the best known. They'd usually compare the quality of genuine Disney tapes against pirated copies, making it seem like you'd just be watching a bland, fuzzy screen if you bought anything on the cheap.
Mum, it's no good. The picture's all funny. I can't hear it.
It always made me wonder, was that actually true? Well, don't tell Disney, but I have a couple of those poor quality illegal video cassettes right here, and they definitely look like it. Sometimes my cousins would have stuff like this, and even when I was little, I knew they were a rip-off. It just had a really cheap feeling, with photocopied covers and labels. I feel kind of dirty just holding them. But the one telling point was always the hologram. That was the big rule for Disney. If it didn't have a shiny, glowing official hologram, it wasn't any good.
Make sure you're buying the true Disney experience by looking for the Mickey Mouse hologram on the spine of the cover. And the new Mickey hologram on the cassette.
It turned me into a snob. Every time I got a new tape, I'd always have my eyes pressed up against it. Does it have a hologram? Is it official? So at least these warnings worked on an impressionable 5-year-old. Anyway, when you look at the quality of these pirated tapes, you can clearly see the difference. Even when you copy an original VHS, the quality always deteriorates, and even if the screen isn't a complete fuzzfest, everything looks washed out compared to a legal copy, so there is some truth in the warnings. But in some of the earlier Disney warnings, they go even further, with this oddly solemn voice warning you that pirated tapes might damage your video machine.
Not only do these reduce the sound and picture quality of the film, but they may also damage your videocassette recorder.
It's just the slightest bit ominous. Something bad might happen to me if I watch these things.
Video piracy is a crime. Do not accept it.
More on the freaky side of these warnings later. A lot of the time, these warnings would just be text on the screen saying that VHS tapes are for home use only, but even then they're kind of amusing to me. Like this MGM one that lists all the places you're not allowed to watch a VHS tape. Clubs, coaches, hospitals, hotels, oil rigs, prisons, and schools. Wait, oil rigs? I don't understand that. Why would anyone be watching a Tom and Jerry tape on an oil rig? I just don't get it. Oil rigs? You might as well say you're not allowed to watch it on the moon. Oil rigs! Other warnings would usually have some kind of voiceover, like this Warner Brothers one is pretty common, featuring a very smooth narrator just calmly explaining everything.
Video piracy is a crime. Do not accept it. Demand a genuine cassette from your video store.
Demand a genuine cassette? That is a pretty funny way of phrasing it. Could you honestly imagine storming into your local Blockbuster and saying, "I demand a genuine cassette from my video store"? But then on 20th Century Fox tapes, it's not so much calm as it is a blatant threat.
Beware of illegal videocassettes. Check whether this videocassette carries a genuine hologram.
Wow, where'd they get this guy from? Every word is like a knife through your heart.
Demand a genuine cassette from your video store.
He can't even read the addresses at the end without sounding like he's going to headbutt you off the roof.
1 Suffolk Street, Dublin 2, Error.
But then sometimes, certain piracy warnings would be much more elaborate productions, like this 1995 one from the British Video Association, which featured on so many VHS tapes that it pretty much lives rent-free in my head.
Excuse me, I bought this video from you last Saturday. So? It's the sound. Yeah. It's hopeless. It's absolutely hopeless.
Yeah, no trains in it either. I suppose that's my fault as well.
It seems to be a more down-to-earth recreation of what it would be like to deal with someone who sells pirated tapes, featuring the pirate as an actual character, though given how shady this guy is, I'm surprised they didn't just go the whole hog and give him an eye patch as well.
Got a receipt, eh? Got a receipt?
Look, you said last week.
Said's no good, mate. Oral contract. Not worth the paper it's printed on.
Still, whether this is accurate, I really can't say, since when I was young, pirated tapes were usually given to you by a family member who copied it, not some slimy marketplace salesman. And to be honest with you, I couldn't see my Uncle Pete ever wearing a jacket like that.
Pirate videos? Daylight robbery.
But if you think this depiction of a video pirate is over the top, then look no further than this terrifying nightmare from 2001, produced by the Federation Against Copyright Theft.
The pirates are out to get you. Don't let them brand you with their mark.
I've talked about this one before, but it bears repeating. What was the intent here? To imply that all video pirates are hideous demons who torch VHS tapes to satisfy their own demented lust?
Piracy funds terrorism and will destroy our development and your future enjoyment.
Personally, I think they just wanted to spook the kids, because they knew they could slap this on every VHS tape and scare the socks off us.
Piracy funds organised crime and will destroy our film and video industry.
And it worked too. He still gives me the shivers.
Copyright is a matter of fact.
For those who don't know, the Federation Against Copyright Theft, or FACT for short, is probably the biggest anti-piracy organisation in the UK. More often than not, their phone number appeared at the end of these warnings, imploring you to rat out the pirates and send them straight to jail.
Telephone the Federation Against Copyright Theft on 0181 568 6646.
But to be honest with you, looking at some of these psychos, I'd think twice before trying to double-cross them. FACT actually produced what might be the first ever VHS piracy warning in 1983, long before my time, and probably long before yours too, kids.
Over half the videotapes available to the public are illegal copies. The money from those illegal copies is going directly into the pockets of crooks.
It's fairly understated for the most part, and doesn't really have any of the weird gimmicks that became so widespread later on.
Video pirates can now be sentenced to 2 years in prison and given unlimited fines.
But I suppose this kind of approach just became too dated by the time of the 90s and early 2000s, and it feels so weird to see something from such an early point in the timeline of home video. If this warning had a scent, it would smell like dust.
If you think you can help FACT in its fight against video piracy, please ring this number in complete confidence.
On the other side of the timeline, FACT was also partially responsible for perhaps the most infamous anti-piracy warning of them all, which actually did appear on certain VHS tapes in the dying days of the format. It's almost hard to know what to say about this one, as it's been picked apart to death so many times. But again, I think it comes down to being way too over the top. You just can't compare public crimes or home invasions to downloading a copy of Toy Story from the internet. It's also kind of amusing how dated this feels now, when it was meant to be so modern and lasted for such a long time in the heyday of DVD, well into the 2010s. The goons are clearly stealing an old CRT TV. That girl's computer is probably running on Windows XP, and how ironic that the cover of that DVD is so cheap looking, it actually looks like he's stealing a pirated copy, so what was even the point? I hate to say it, but I think I'd rather have Evil Scary Bernie Video Man. Try foisting that one on kids of today, it'd probably be a lot more effective than this. Also, on a side note, did you know this warning actually came out on my 8th birthday? What a great present. I don't know what I was doing asking my parents for Sonic Heroes. I should have begged for a better piracy warning. But when it comes to scaring kids senseless, this final piracy warning from 1995 definitely takes the cake, where two parents give their child a pirated tape, and she gets a nasty surprise.
You okay, honey?
This one resonates with me because it taps into one of my early childhood fears, something scary popping up on the TV. When you're young, TV is your life, like a babysitter or a trusted friend. Surely it wouldn't do anything mean to you, but it was so easy to record things onto a VHS tape that this feels like something that could plausibly happen. You're sitting there in perfect innocence enjoying a nice little silly cartoon, and then suddenly Freddy Krueger pops up on the screen. It just kind of works. It might still have the same exaggerated approach to piracy, but it builds naturally and feels a bit more genuine compared to the others, like a childhood nightmare brought to life. Though why someone is dropping a perfectly good VHS machine at the end, I really couldn't say. So there you have it, the weird world of piracy warnings. Whether you like them or not, they were always a key part of the VHS experience for me, and it's hard to imagine watching a tape without one. From the conventional to the freaky, they'll always be a memorable part of my childhood. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. What's your favourite warning? How did you feel about them when you were a kid? And most importantly, why would you be watching a tape on an oil rig? Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more reviews coming soon.
Video piracy is a crime. Please help us to fight it.
But wait, there's more! Okay, this is a very unscripted announcement because I'm here to reveal that Back to the Past is now available on Patreon. You see, YouTube isn't exactly friendly to me for making videos about all this copyrighted content, so it makes monetizing the channel kind of impossible, but for just £2 a month, you can support the channel on Patreon. You'll get access to every new video a week early, your name at the end of every episode, and you can even take part in exclusive Patreon votes where you decide what the next VHS review will be. It's not an obligation, but if you want to support the channel, you can. I'd really appreciate it, because it means I won't ever have to talk about Raid Shadow Legends in any of these videos. Have a nice day and check out the Patreon. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know what you liked in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow the channel on Twitter, support me on Patreon for early access to new episodes, and remember you can buy all kinds of old stuff from the official Back to the Past eBay store. See you next time.
Trust me.